So spake he, and the good nurse Eurycleia wailed aloud, and making lament spake to him winged words. Ah, wherefore, dear child, hath such a thought arisen in thine heart? How shouldest thou fare over wide lands, thou that art only a child and well beloved? As for him, he hath perished, Odysseus of the seed of Zeus, far from his own country, in the land of strangers. And yonder men, so soon as thou art gone, will devise mischief against thee thereafter, that thou mayest perish by guile, and they will share among them all this wealth of thine. Nay, abide here, settle on thine own lands. Thou hast no need upon the deep unharvested to suffer evil and go wandering. Then wise Telemachus answered her, saying, Take heart, nurse, for lo, this my purpose came not but of a god, but swear to tell no word thereof to my dear mother, till at least it shall be the 11th or 12th day from hence, or till she miss me of herself and hear of my departure, that so she may not mar her fair face with her tears. Thus he spake, and the old woman sware a great oath by the gods not to reveal it. But when she had sworn and done that oath, straightway she drew off the wine for him in jars, and poured barley meal into well-sewn skins, and Telemachus departed to the house and consorted with the wooers. Then the goddess grey-eyed Athena turned to other thoughts. In the likeness of Telemachus she went all through the city, and stood by each one of the men and spake her saying, and bade them gather at even by the swift ship. Furthermore, she craved a swift ship of Noëmon, famous son of Phronius, and right gladly he promised it. Well, we have some forward momentum in the road trip between Athena and Telemachus. I don't know if, was there, keen-eared listeners out there, was there a moment in this podcast, in this book, where I switched from saying Telemachus to Telemachus? At this point, I can't tell myself if I'd always been saying Telemachus or if I went from saying Telemachus to Telemachus. Phonetic pronunciations that I'm reading are sometimes deceitful and inconsistent. I'm doing my best, folks. Telemachus, it's going to be moving forward. And also, just while I'm on the subject, as you may have noticed if you're watching on YouTube, and I have the text scrolling by, it does say Athene, not Athena. I've opted for the traditional name of Athena for my own sanity, but it is pronounced Athene. We are talking about Athena, though. This is the kind of messiness you're going to get on this show. Where else are you going to get such unacademic, messy, real-world BS than this show? That's what I'm offering you folks. But things are happening. Things are moving quickly. Athena has gone to town to get folks on board, the crew. She has asked for a ship from Noëmon. Don't worry, you're not supposed to know who that is outside of this passage, which is just saying that Noëmon has a swift ship, and he is very happy to be helping Athena. What else do we know about him? Nothing. That's it. He's an ally. That's all we need to know. Telemachus telling you, don't let my mom know that I've left unless she recognizes it for herself, because I don't want her to cry on my behalf. In addition to, grieving and crying over my father. He doesn't say that, but that's, I'm assuming, what he means. And if we didn't get the other characteristics of him before this, I would be more keen to say he's being secretive here. I mean, he is, but he's doing it with an honorable reason. But there's something that struck me about this passage on a narrative level that I found very fascinating. We're essentially dealing with parallel action. Telemachus and Eurycleia are getting the provisions together for the ship, while Athena is going to town and getting the ship and crew together. That feels like a pretty revolutionary thing to have audiences understand of the time. I'm not trying to not give them the credit they're due. Ancient audiences are as smart as modern audiences, but this is, I think, indicating that, this is an oral story. This isn't a stage performance per se in the way that the later Greek playwrights would be, Aeschylus, Euripides, Sophocles, all of them, so you're able to tell more moving pieces of a story without relying on audience members trying to wrap their head around the scenography and the actors doing things and multiple scenes happening simultaneously. This is, something that even early filmmakers, hundreds and thousands of years later, would struggle with audiences watching movies. You think of Eisenstein putting together the montage, the Russian montage in the early silent days of cinema, and it was revolutionary to put two juxtaposing images together that wasn't a continuation of action, breaking continuity and allowing and trusting in the audience to understand two things happening simultaneously. Now, I'm no literary historian. We've established that early on, and I'm going to maintain that throughout the entirety of this project. But to me, it's a very sophisticated thing to ask an audience to wrap their head around. I know even some modern books that don't do a good job of that. Granted, it's all, these two moving pieces are moving toward the same end, this voyage that is to be taken, but it's just not something I would have expected to see in this form all the way back as far as the Odyssey is concerned. So it's a text that continues to surprise. I'm going to end that one there today. Join me here tomorrow for the penultimate episode of Book 2. Until then, okay, goodbye. Odyssey is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. The show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Odyssey, written by Homer. Theme song by Neuroflow. You can support this show and other shows like it by going to patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.